And welcome back, another day, another read. So let's get straight to it. See who I'm reading for today. Spirits for Grace tastes good. I'm seeing that you're finally getting out of like a place of indecision. Like it's like you were looking at a life where you were like looking at so many options, like oh my god, like so many sparkly things in your face, and then now you're finally seeing the truth of the matter, and you're like, this is not really what I really wanted, or this is not really what it seems. And it's because you finally got a shift in perspective, a different reality. You're just like finally letting go of control and just letting things be. And because you're allowing that to happen, you're starting to see things like for what they are rather than for what you expected them to be. And I'm seeing that you're catching like a lot of enlightenment here and a lot of truth. Especially when it came to like an offer that seemed like it was like steady. But then you soon realize that, you know, this needed to take some work. Just like anything else, like it requires you to have work. And I'm seeing right now you're also in a period in your life where you're just putting in a lot of work within your own self, within your endeavors, your hobbies, your self-development. Because, you know, there is like a new beginning that is happening for you. I'm seeing like an emotional offer or just a spark of like inspiration happening for you. And it's just going to keep coming flooding for you. Like the universe is offering you this, to be honest, this new start, this new emotional offer. Where your confidence, your creativity is going to be put out into the spotlight. And you're just going to feel empowered. You just know like your worth, what you stand for, and you're just gonna sit in your throne. I'm seeing lions being very significant here. And it's because you're cutting through the bullshit. You're cutting through like the illusions, the fog, the confusion, and you're just being cutthroat. You're being honest, straightforward, and being logical, having like, you know, straight up conversations where you're just like, you know what, what's the deal with this? And just get to it rather than just going around it. And it's also because I'm seeing that you are seeing things like, you know, there is a new start here. There's a new beginning. And you're seeing like far ahead, like, okay, there's something that I can actually do here. I'm also seeing that you have been like on the fence. It's like, do I belong here? Do I not belong here? I keep hearing you belong. Yeah. Because you are literally like this grounded, nurturing individual, especially when it comes to your divine feminine. Like there's just a divine feminine here that's just very grounding, very nurturing, very stable. And it's just like very reliable. You're just a very reliable like source that people actually need in their lives. And then this is not like someone on the outside. This is you within your own self. Like you're finally recognizing like, I'm actually the source. Hearing the Nicki Minaj song. I'm gonna leave that right there. And I'm gonna just see what else the divine has to say. There's just a heavy emphasis here on like on earthy energy. So you can have earth placements, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. I'm seeing fire placements. This could be Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Yep. I'm seeing that you're facing like a challenge right now. There's just like a certain climb that you're needing to take that's asking you to be persistent and very grounded and practical. Patience is really going to be a very big thing for you. Because your emotions want to act one way, but then deep at your core, you require another thing. You require reliability, something stable, something nurturing, very soft and gentle. But then whenever you're feeling these emotions, like you just feel chaotic, you want to destroy, you want to do all these other like scattered things. Spirit's like saying like chill out with those emotions. Don't listen to them. Like yes, they're valid, but at the same time, like don't let these emotions ruin a good thing for you. 455 to say this. Yeah, because this is a lot having to do with like, don't let your emotions influence the way that you think, the way that you speak, and really just be very precise and patient with yourself with how you articulate and how do you communicate like, those emotions and thoughts in a respectful manner, in a way that is concise and very very flexible, in the sense of where people can actually be receptive to what you're saying, rather than throwing like a lot of emotional labor for no apparent reason. Because whenever you're triggered or you're feeling some kind of emotion, like, yes, you might have the tendency to want to like dump all that out in the blue, but it's like, no, there's a formal way of communicating and processing through this. Especially when it comes to your peers, your community. They're being like, be intentional here. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a task, because not everybody's got to be able to be receptive or be in tune with what you're saying. So you really got to like voice yourself out. You guys, this is all going through a major transformation. Like the way that you used to communicate with your peers, your friends, your community, people closest to you, workplaces, it's all changing. Like you are no longer allowing your emotions dictate what the situation is. You're really starting to look at things like for what they are, and also looking at things in a logical manner where it's like, okay, this is how I should be approaching the situation. This is what I'm needing to address, and this is how I'm about to address it. And this is how I have to be keeping myself in check. Because you are facing a lot of shadow here, a lot of transformations, and a lot of death and rebirth. Especially when it comes to the way that you retain information, gain information, learn, progress, move. All of this is changing. It's coming to an end. The way that you used to communicate is coming to an end. Because you're starting to be more open-minded, more flexible, and more, receptive to like new information. This is something that's supposed to ask you, like, be open and receptive. Like, spaces with bravery, it's got to be very intimidating at first, because it's something new that you have really not done so many times. Or this was something that, is not a real custom in the way that you were raised. And so Spirit's like saying, like, this is going to be intimidating, but you got this. There's a reason why we're putting you in this position and why we want you to face this darkness, because there's a truth on the other side that you're needing to discover within your own self. And you're going to see how self-empowering it really is, you addressing this stuff rather than ignoring it and letting things, just brew up. Especially when it comes to this new endeavor and this new beginning that is coming up for you, because this new beginning is going to provide you an opportunity to emotionally express yourself, be open and receptive. But how can you do that if you don't even know how to articulate yourself? And so you're being taught the lessons of setting those boundaries, communicating, be open-minded, seeing from other people's perspective, and also not letting your ego come into play, and knowing how to address it and how to position yourself for a better, successful way. Again, major transitions happening here. You're facing a lot of shadow, a lot of darkness, a lot of purging. You're getting rid of old ways of communicating. You're unpeeling and unveiling these old aspects of you, or even aspects of yourself that have been dormant, or even just out of sight view, but slowly here and there, they activate in certain times. So you're being put this into awareness, so that way you can get rid of this, so that way you're no longer in this resonance of this kind of energy that's not serving you. And I know this is going to take a lot of daily practice. It's going to take work, so be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to go through the motions. But with a habit, it compiles and it keeps accumulating. It starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you start seeing the results. So really just be patient with yourself and just, slowly plant those seeds and implement the lessons and the wisdom that you have acquired throughout these years, and even through these situations and changes in frequencies and metamorphoses that you've been facing. Because this is really going to help you a lot with connecting with people, communicating with people, and just creating that networking. I'm kind of here and there right now because I'm pretty exhausted. But honestly, this is really going to help you with connecting with people on a whole different level. And it's going to make you way more versatile. And it's going to just benefit you in the long run, to be honest. It doesn't have to be for any bigger, higher calling. This could just be in general with, your relationships, your friendships, your community, and whatever you're wanting to, connect to It's going to help you in a different way and at a different level. But you're also seeing the duality of it, and seeing like how it all interplays. Like you have to like come into unison with both sides of yourself, 10 and 10 as I say this. And learn that, you know, there is quite discipline whenever you're dealing with your shadow aspect of yourself and the light version of yourself. Because there is like that fine line where it's like there's that boundary, there's that line. And this is how we can like use this energy intentionally so that way you don't self-destruct or destroy or burn bridges. Again, it's going to take work. So be very patient with yourself. Just heavy on Gemini energy here. Like, if you're a Gemini placement or you have Gemini placements, like, be my guest. And if you don't even know, like, just check your birth chart, see where Gemini's at, and see how this can be implemented in your day-to-day habits. So that way you can better enhance your life. Other than that, if this reading resonates, it resonates. And if it doesn't, leave it out the window. Do not force it. I'll see you back in divine timing. And before I end this reading, I did want to pull one of these cards. I think it's been a few days since I pulled them. So, on this note, never apologizing for being too much, because no, you're not normal, and that's a blessing. Again, don't dim your light. Don't minimize yourself. You are special just as is. And same thing with your communication. Like, don't withhold your truth for anybody else. Your truth is meant to be heard. There's a reason why you express the way that you express, the way that you communicate, the way that you do, and the way that you think. Because there's people out there that are wanting to hear you for you. So again, just be open-minded and just be you. Okay? And I hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you for tapping in. And if you're new here, my name is Dulce, and this is Alchemy of Knowledge. And I appreciate you for joining. So, have a great rest of your night. Bye.